आदमी ने कुछ घटा पड़ा है। हाँ, तुलसी का एडिशन करने लगा और भोले बनो आगे डिस्टेंस पावरफुल ड्राई कफ के लिए ज्यादा अच्छा है ना। हाँ, मैंने बुखार उतारने की भी सलाह देता है। अभी बन रहा है। हाँ, कल भी हमने ट्राई किया था, बढ़िया बना था। हाँ, मैंने देखा भी है। गरम गरम पिला दी। हाँ, नहीं गरम में तो पूरी एक्सपायरी दिखाई भी हो जाएगी।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
आप कल दोपहर को भी नहीं आया, देखिए अभी आ रहा है। एक तो सुबह इम्पोर्टेंट मीटिंग करी थी, क्या मतलब है?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर साहब।
वालेकुम सलाम।
जी क्या स्टेटस है, कब शुरू होना है? हेलो,
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनु इस्तईनु बिस्सब्रि वस्सलाह इन्नल्लाहा मअस्साबिरीन। ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you. It's my privilege to announce that the conference have warm response from all over the world. It have more than 1,200 participants from different countries such as Nigeria, Indonesia, Malaysia, Ghana, Yemen, and many more from different states of India. The COVID-19 pandemic is caused by severe acute respiratory syndromes of coronavirus 2. The outbreak of this COVID-19 was first identified in Wuhan, China in December 19, and WHO declared outbreak a public health emergency of international concern on January 2020 and as a pandemic on 11 March. The pandemic has caused global social and economic disruption, including the largest global recession since the Great Depression in 1930. It has led the postponement or cancellation of sporting, religious, political, and cultural events. Schools, universities, and colleges have been closed either on nationwide or local basis in more than 172 countries, affecting approximately 98.5% of world's student population. As on date, more than 9.76 million cases of COVID-19 have been reported in more than 188 countries, resulting in more than 492,000 deaths and more than 4.9 million people have recovered. However, we are not fully aware about pathogenesis of virus and treatment of COVID-19. Many organizations are trying their level best for the development of vaccine and possible treatment and required many more. Hence, this conference is organized in the view to make awareness about to find out possible treatment and management strategies for COVID-19. It's my privilege to welcome all the dignitaries which are available for inaugural function. Mr. P.D. Chaudhary sir, President APTI, then Mr. Maulik Sudani sir, Managing Director Farbe Pharma, Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid, Professor from Yemen, Dr. Khurshid Maulvi Iqbal from ITM School of Pharmacy, and many more. Now I handle the session to Dr. Javed Khan sir uh, for introduction of college and campus. Yes, Dr. Javed.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I take this opportunity to welcome all of the participants and our distinguished guests as well as the experts from various fields on behalf of Jamia Islamia Ishatul Ulum Akkalkwa and Ali-allana College of Pharmacy. It is my great pleasure today to invite all the participants throughout various countries who are taking initiative to participate in this conference, which is having an aim to have some concrete outcome to come out of this pandemic, which has affected all over the world. All over the world, we know today that the healthcare system and world leaders, they are concerned about resolution or how to overcome this pandemic. As a healthcare professionals, this is our humble effort that we are trying to come out with the help of this conference. We have come here so that we could get something in these 3 days which could help us to resolve or to cure this COVID-19 disease. So as an introduction for Jamia campus, Jamia was established 40 years back and we are celebrating our 40th year this year by our visionary president, Hazrat Maulana Ghulam Muhammad Wastanvi Sahab, who has dared to go against the stream and he has seen a very good future with his interest, with his dedication and with the support of his team members. Jamia is a huge campus today. In our campus, we started 30 years back with ITI, then BUMS Unani Medical College, then we had Polytechnic Engineering College, then we had Pharmacy Diploma Degree Pharmacy College, we have Bachelor of Education. This campus is serving from UG to KG, from KG to PG, all the students. So Ali-allana College of Pharmacy was started in 2006 by our visionary president to serve the healthcare profession and to provide the much needed resources for healthcare profession. So we started our undergraduate program in 2006. In 2011, we started our PG program and doctorate program with in collaboration or under the guidance of Honorable North Maharashtra University. After completing successfully these basic programs, recognizing the need, Ali-allana College of Pharmacy started with certificate course in clinical research and pharma regulatory affairs 3 years back, again in collaboration or under the guidance of North Maharashtra University. And we have successfully completed 3 batches of these certificate courses. And I'm happy to share that it is one of the unique certification courses in affiliation with any government university offered in India. Last year, 2019, we had a collaboration with Kasi, New York and North Maharashtra University to offer certification course in personality development and soft skill development. So that also we have completed 1 batch. This year in 2020, we had an accreditation from North National Board of Accreditation, and that is one of the biggest achievements so far for us. Now, as this pandemic started, and in India, we started getting affected in very starting days of this pandemic in India, there was scarcity of hand rub, or we call it sanitizer. So realizing that problem, the staff of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy prepared hand rub or sanitizers, alcohol-based sanitizers, and distributed in the local healthcare workers, the local corona warriors, that is police department, administration, doctors, nurses in Akkalkuwa. We have also organized online quiz to create awareness about the COVID-19 pandemic and how can we prevent it or how can we cure it. In a continuation with that, today we are going to start this 3-day international conference where we have speakers from across the field, from education, from pharma industry, from homeopathy, from Ayurveda, from Unani, and from biotechnology as well as animal research. So I hope that you will enjoy this 3-day session, and the success of this conference depends on your participation. I hope that you will participate very enthusiastically in this conference. And at the end of this conference, after 3 days, we will have a conclusion, or we will have something in our hand with that as a pharma professionals or healthcare professionals, we will be able to come out of this pandemic, which is affecting the whole world. So with that, I thank all of you for participating in the conference. I also thank all our sponsors, that is Honorable North Maharashtra University, then our Association of Pharmaceuticals Teachers, as well as Medishaw, Firbe Pharma, Curex Pharma. So I thank all the sponsors. Because of their support, because of their motivation, we were able to arrange this conference. And I hope with the expert knowledge of the speakers, you will be enlightened in these 3 days. So thank you very much. Thank you for being part of this international conference. And I hope that you will enjoy this session. Thank you once again for joining. I hand over now the dais to Dr. Majaz Kazi for further proceeding. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for a brief introduction. Now I request Dr. Siraj Sheikh, sir, to introduce our chief guest, Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Honorable our Chief Guest, Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir. Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir, is the Professor and Principal of Modern College of Pharmacy. Presently, so, sir is the President of APTI. And with a brief introduction, sir has completed B.Com.
Very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to give the introduction of our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir. Sir is the Professor and Principal of Modern College of Pharmacy, Pune. And currently, sir is the President of APTI, India. Sir has completed his B.Com from Pune College of Pharmacy in 1994 and M.Pharmacy from NDMP College in 1996 and PhD from Bundelkhand, Jhansi. Sir having the huge academic as well as industrial experience. Near about 11 students had awarded PhD under the guidance of Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir. Sir has guarded more than 54 students for pharmaceutics M.Pharm, and about 4 patents have completed by the sir, which is granted by Government of India. Near about 156 publication plus 25 review articles in various national international journals with impact factor. A cumulative impact factor of sir is 76. Total citation of sir is 1452. H index is 19, I index is 10. Near about 6 books has been published by Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir in various topics of pharmaceutics as per the need of pharma era. It is very happy to share that near about more than 36 lakhs grant is received by Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir, and sir has achieved various awards as an individual. Best Principal Award in 2016 and 17 from Savitribai Pune University, Pune, and Best Research Award from IDMA in 2016, and various awards like Best Principals, National Institute Ranking Frame 2019, Best Magazine Award, and various awards have been achieved by sir. It is a brief introduction of sir. Yeah, sir having the huge experience of more than 23 years in UG, more than 18 years on the PG, and near about 1.5 years industrial experience. Now, sir is holding a position of President of Central of APTI India, and sir is the member of various bodies in various universities as a BOS member, as a member of expert team, as a member of academic council, member of standing council along with the Pune, various other universities, member of BUTR, member of various unfair means and various standing committees. So then sir having the professional memberships of APTI and life member of Indian Pharmaceutical Associations and others. Near about 15 seminars has been attended by the sirs, and it is proudly said that sir is the resource persons for various NAC, NBA accredited programs, near about 8 in various colleges. So this is the brief introduction of Honorable Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir. So thank you, Majaz sir. We continue. Sir, now I request Honorable Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir to continue the sessions.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Siraj, for my brief introduction. Very good morning to one and all, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on this occasion of 3 days international conference on management of COVID-19. That is scheduled from 27th June to 29th June 2020, jointly organized by Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, Kalkua, Kaviyatri Bahinabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, and Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, Bengaluru. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the patron, Maulana Ghulam Muhammad Wastanavi Saab, the convener of this international conference, Dr. G.J. Khan Saab, and principal of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, Dr. Qazi Madaz, Dr. Siraj Sheikh, and Dr. Aizaz, coordinator of this conference, and all other faculty members of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy for taking this initiative and organizing this wonderful event for the healthcare sector. I'm proud to state that I will brief in 2-3 minutes about our activities of Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India. I'm proud to state that we at Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, we have established almost 23 state branches in 5 regions of the Indian subcontinent. And beside this, we have also established a good academic linkages in the various foreign universities, and successful in establishing 2 international branches of Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India. One is at Turkey and another one is at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. To add, APTI always provide ideal forum for the pharmacy teachers, researchers, then pharmaceutical entrepreneurs, industry experts, the various scholars of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary sectors to discuss, deliberate, interact, and share the views on the topic of current and contemporary need. Moreover, I'm proud to state that APTI has leapfrogged on several fronts like pharmacy education, research promotion, academic proliferation, women empowerment, and teachers' welfare in order to invigorate the pharmacy education and profession at large. APTI is making continuous and concerted efforts to strengthen and revitalize and revamp the pharmacy education by upgrading and updating the pharmacy teacher. So we utilize this opportunity of lockdown in a positive manner, and we have organized more than 25 webinars at national and international levels for FDPs, and this is the international conference in collaboration with Ali-allana College of Pharmacy of Kalkua. So we are always encouraging our teachers and taking efforts for updating and upgrading our teachers. We also ponders to conduct a various state level, national level, and international level conferences every year in relevance to the current and contemporary needs. And it is happy to share with that recently in 2019, two international conferences we have organized. One is at BESMAP, FIP MEPSAP at Turkey, and another one is at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So we always give stress on the security, safety of pharmacy teachers, and association provided accidental death insurance cover to all the life members to the tune of ₹3 lakhs. It is also a matter of pride that we have established a separate women forum for the academic growth and development of women pharmacy teachers. And the motto of APTI is to promote the research culture for the young and aspiring pharmacists and the academicians to carry out high-end patentable research. And in this regard, APTI is publishing two reputed journals, research journals. One is Indian Journal of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Another one is IJOPP, that is Indian Journal of Pharmacy Practice. These two journals. Among this, IJPER is a Scopus index having impact factor 0.5, and it is well distributed in the 40 countries over the world. Association always encourage to the teachers for their outstanding contribution, and in this regard, we have instituted almost 21 major and minor awards which are given during our national convention every year. More than 20 books APTI has already published of our own authors like Padma Shri led Professor Harkishan Singh ji, B.D. Miglani ji, and Dr. S.K. Kulkarni. This year we are celebrating our silver jubilee of our national conventions. I'm happy to announce that 25th National Convention of Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India will be held in the Mysore. The date and time will be declared very soon. I congratulate the organizers for selecting this wonderful theme of this international conference, which is a need of hour, and inviting the top class speakers from all over the world for this conference. Friends, to say something for COVID-19, the global efforts are in place to develop a vaccine against COVID-19. Health experts have warned scientists that there might not be a vaccine at all, which has happened before in case of HIV and dengue, among others. There are the crucial aspects to understand about the vaccine development instead of overhyping its creation. While the vaccine is the desired ultimate solution and the world is hoping for this to happen. It is indeed possible that it may take many years. After all, we still do not have one of HIV. So it is critical to remember that developing a vaccine is neither any easy task nor a guaranteed outcome of our research efforts. So therefore, instead of anchoring the entire world's hope on successful vaccine, the world will have to work around learning to live with the virus while the research continues. It would be prudent to continue exploring other options of both prevention and cure that could manage the symptoms and reduce the morbidity. Rigorous research on the virus to understand it better, how it spreads, its journey within our body for different age groups, with or without comorbidities and symptoms, the impact of different drug combinations, how the different temperature impact it, and its interaction with various surfaces, the actual cause of death in COVID positive patients is necessary for a solution to combat the disease. This research, which is on at various levels, is a must in exploring other routes to prevention and cure. We need to also leverage alternate system of medicine to find solution across increasing the immunity or reducing the severity of symptoms. I believe, as in the past, human ingenuity will find mechanism to keep ourselves safe and learn to live with it until such time that a vaccine is ready. The virus outbreak has highlighted the role of epidemiological data, good public health structure, and research and development. Some steps should be taken in this direction. There are learning from every pandemic, and COVID-19 is no exception. There is an undisputed need for more resilient healthcare infrastructure, as well as stronger surveillance, data collection, and early warning system. Contemporary research and development system for cutting-edge research and speedy analysis using the latest data science tool coupled with frugal innovation are the key factors in the country like India. Building and sustaining the above strategies will require a serious and focused government intent and budget. There is a need to re-evaluate the existing structure and create a more responsive structure with improved infrastructure, capacity, and skills. So there is a need to make research and surveillance institutions more contemporary and undertake gap filling, especially in the newer areas of artificial intelligence, data sciences, social media communication, etc. and etc. Friends, I thank you for patiently listening, and I profusely thank Dr. G.J. Khan, the convener and principal of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy, the patron of this conference, Maulana Ghulam Muhammad Wastanavi Saab, the coordinator of this conference, Dr. Qazi Madaz, Dr. Siraj Sheikh, and Dr. Azad of this particular conference, and the other faculty members of Ali-allana College of Pharmacy for giving me this opportunity to interact with all the participants. I wish a great success to this conference. Keep learning and keep updating yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Over
much.
to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for briefing very well APTI and its function. And I will like to say that you have said that the alternative treatment of COVID-19, and in our conference we are having three persons from the different Ayush branches. One is from Ayurveda, one is from homeopathy, and one is from Unani. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I request Dr. Siraj Sheikh to introduce Mr. Maulik Rani, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Majaz, sir. With us in this program, Another our guest, respected guest, Mr. Maulik Sudani sir. Sir is the AMD in Farbe Pharma Pharmaceuticals in, at Ankleshwar. Sir has completed his graduation in engineering as a chemical engineer from GH Patel College of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Anand. And after the completion of graduation in engineering, sir is did his MBA in international business management. Sir is served as a treasurer in Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. Sir is also worked as a training placement coordinators. Sir is selected in campus into in Atul Limited as a production officers. Very proudly says that Sir has, at the age of 27 in 1990s, 90 started a very unique, very popular firm, Farbe Firma Pharmaceuticals. Now it is doing various activities involved in the productions of parentals. So with these brief introductions, now I am requesting Dr. Maulik Sudani sir, MD of Firma Pharmaceuticals, to continue the sessions.
Thank you, Dr. Siraj, for introducing, and thank you. I would like to thank all of person in Ali-allana College, because this is my first conference I am attending, and thank you for this opportunity. So, as per, first of all, I would like to thank Maulana Ghulam Muhammad Wastani Saab, patron of the this convener, principal Dr. GJ Khan, and coordinators Dr. Kazi, Dr. Siraj, and Dr. Azaz. So as per this conference on management of COVID-19. So today I will be talking about the technology, how technology helps in management of COVID-19. So epidemics and pandemics are keep threatening the human life, like SARS, H1N1, Ebola, and more often they may come in future. The technology cannot prevent onset of pandemics. However, it can help to spread education, warn, and empower those who are ground in the situation. So today we have a more technologies like mobile, cloud, robotics, high-speed internets, so that can help us preventing or taught us how to live the life. So there are a few topics, like first is the fighting misinformation. Fighting misinformation is the main thing. So misinformation about the number of fatality, diagnosis, treatment options, vaccine, medicine, government policies. If it's misinformation, it create more panic situation in the among the population. So it can widespread a chaos, panic buying, hoarding essential commodities, price rise of like material. So technology companies like Google, Facebook, YouTube are working on that to control the fighting of a misinformation. So first thing is that we need to fight the misinformation. So technology is helping well us in that. Second major thing is finding the drug, as Praveen sir told that finding a vaccine is a must. So again, technology is helping us much more in finding a vaccines. There are few examples, like right now AI, artificial intelligence, is helping more in finding this vaccine of structure. I'll give you one example. Like there are Allen Institute of AI and Google DeepMind that created the AI tools. Even a Google DeepMind introduced AlphaFold, the cutting-edge system that predicts the 3D structure of a protein based on its genetic sequence. Even a University of Texas in Austin National Institute of Health used a popular biotechnological technique that create a first 3D atomic scale map of the part of the virus that attacked and infect the human cells, the spike protein. Okay, so AI can help scientists find a COVID-19 vaccine more rapidly than before. The other thing is that increasing traceability data and transparency in sharing data. So different social platform like TikTok, even Geo, BSNL, Airtel are more using the cellular uh, caller tunes to spread the awareness about pandemic. Even Arogya Setu app introduced by government, so they are helping us increasing traceability and transparency into data. Apart from this, now because of a technology, there can be a like a more advantage use of a contactless movement, deliveries to autonomous vehicles, drones, using of robotics. Like we have never seen, like earlier days there were no any temperature monitoring or something. Now we have a technology supported temperature monitoring systems, even IR thermometers. Even in this pandemic situation, we learned how to work remotely, remotely working technologies that support social distancing and maintain the business continuity. There are various platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, Skype. So business is continuing. So in a conclusion, today the greatest risk worldwide catastrophic is pandemic and enormous infection of virus are there that may kill so many people. That but the situation now, we understand that we were not geared up as of now for this pandemic situation. The next pandemic can come any time, is not a matter if it happens, but when it happens we should be ready. So adaptation of a technology, and technology can help us in a large way in this management in COVID. So that's all I have to say about the technology and use in this COVID situation.
Uh, Thank you, Dr. Maulik Surani, sir, for sharing a valuable your thoughts. Along with Pharmaceuticals, we are also having sponsors like Medishol Pharmaceuticals and
Okay.
Curex Pharmaceuticals, Jalgaon. Thank you, all of you. Now, hand on the session to Dr. Majas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sudhani, sir, for a brief briefing about COVID-19. Now I request Maulana Ghulam Mohammad Wastani Sahab for their presidential speech. Maulana Ghulam Mohammad Wastani Sahab. Yes. Can you hear? Sorry, due to some technical problem, he is not available. Now we move towards the next. I request Dr. Ijaz Ahmed sir for vote of thanks for inaugural functions.
Thank you, Dr. Fazim Hassan. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks. So it was all about the inaugural session where our dignitaries were available. I take this opportunity on behalf of our management and Ali-allana College of Pharmacy. I would like to thank, first of all, Honorable Dr. P.D. Chaudhary, sir, President APTI, for his inspirational thoughts and spreading his valuable time with us for this noble cause during the pandemic. APTI is one of the body who has always think about the betterment of the pharmaceutical teachers and obviously the students. By imparting the quality educations, now it has beyond the quality educations. There are several programs which has been run by the APTI for the upliftment of the students and the teachers. So I thanks Dr. P.D. Chaudhary sir for their sponsoring this e-conference on the management of COVID-19. I would like to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. P.P. Patil sir sponsoring this e-conference. KBC, Vice Chancellor KBC North Maharashtra University Jalgaon, affiliating university which is having outstanding ranks amongst the universities in India. I extend my gratitude to the Managing Director, Mr. Maulik Sudani, who is a young, dynamic, and encouraging person. He has extended his company and catering not only domestic market but had approach to the UAE, Europe, and most of the states of the America. Indian-based organizations, which is popular in injectable formulations. I also would like to thank all the sponsors who encourage us for this conference on the management of COVID-19. I take this opportunity again to once again thanks our management, president, principal, staff, and obviously last but not least, our the participant for their overwhelming response. I request all the participants to be with us. We have the eminent speakers across the world who are expertise in the area and who will enlighten us on the issues related to the COVID-19 management. I thanks once again for all the participants and for all the organizers as organizers. I hand over this to Kazi Majaz sir for the conclusion of this inaugural session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ejaz. Now the inaugural function is over. We are moved towards the next session, the lecture one of day first, that is Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid. Okay, it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid. We pleased to welcome Professor Gamal Abdul Hamid, a very special keynote speaker from Yemen. Professor Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid had received General Award in Internal Medicine and PhD in Hematology and Oncology from the Faculty of Medicine, University of London during the period of 1987 to 1992. Currently, he is working as Director of National Program of Cancer Control and Head of Hematology and Clinical Laboratory in Faculty of Medicine, University of Aden, Yemen, and General Secretary of Yemen Cancer Society and founder of Aden Cancer Registry. He is serving as an editor member of several national and global journals. He has authored and co-authored many articles in great variety of journals and has delivered lectures at many conferences and institutions in Yemen and internationally and referee for national and international journals. He is a member of EMSO, ASCO, and various organizations throughout the world. I would like to request I would like to request Professor Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid to proceed with your valuable talk on epidemiology and pathogenesis of coronavirus disease outbreak. Yes, hand over to Dr. Gamal Abdul Hamid, sir. ये आप देखिए. Hello, sir, your voice is not audible. Hello. Hello. इसमें नहीं है आगे 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 hello can you hear me
Yes, I hear you.
yeah yes sir yes now you are audible sir please
Okay,
start.
thank you.
Yes
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Qazi, and thank you for the organizing committee of the international conference on the management of COVID-19. Especially thank for ali-allana College of Pharmacy. It is my pleasure to participate in this conference. Do you hear me?
yes yes sir
Okay. My presentation for this conference is about the epidemiology and pathogenesis of COVID-19. Is the PowerPoint available?
yes sir
Okay. Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease.
sir
Code
can you share your slides your screen
is not available here.
can you share your screen slides are not there on screen
I sent. This is difficult. Okay.
just share your screen sir
From here it's difficult to share. I really share screen.
share screen okay sir okay sir start yes it is
Okay.
yes sir
Okay. Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, epidemiology and pathogenesis. Coronavirus disease is an infectious disease caused by the most recently discovered coronavirus. These new virus and disease were unknown before the outbreak began in Wuhan, China in December 2019 as pneumonia of unknown cause. Patients were epidemiologically linked to a seafood and wet animal wholesale market in Wuhan, Hubei province, China. In 7 January, COVID-19 was explained as the causative cause of this pneumonia. On January 30, 2020, the World Health Organization declared coronavirus disease, COVID-19, as a public health emergency of international concern. And on March 11, WHO Director General referred this type to a COVID-19 as a pandemic disease. Coronavirus disease is 3 types well known. The first one was the severe acute respiratory coronavirus, SARS-CoV, detected in China, 2003. And the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus MERS-CoV was in 2012 in King Saudi Arabia. And the last type of these coronavirus is severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, coronavirus 2, COVID-19 in China and as pandemic over all the world. This type of coronavirus is zoonotic pathogen, is a spillover event from bats through intermediate host according to the type 1 was through animals' cuts, and type 2, this MERS was through the camel, was in Saudi Arabia, and the last one is through fish in China, Wuhan. Coronavirus that caused COVID-19 is a beta coronavirus in the same subgenes as the severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS virus, as well as several bad coronavirus, but in a different clade. The structure of the receptor binding gene region is very similar to that of the SARS coronavirus, and the virus has been shown to use the same receptor, the angiotensin converting enzyme 2, for the cell entry. The Middle East respiratory syndrome MERS virus, another beta coronavirus, appear more distantly related. The closest RNA sequence similarly is to bat coronavirus, and it appears likely that bats are the primary source, whether COVID-19 virus is transmitted directly from bats or through same other mechanism. As we know here, the structure or the genome code is of 4 major protein, as mentioned, spike S protein, which is mediate receptor binding and fusion into target ACE2, expressing the cell of the body, major antigen, and the membrane protein is virus assembly, and the N protein, nucleocapsid, regulation of RNA synthesis, possible antigen, and the small envelope E protein. COVID-19, approximately 75% of the SARS-CoV-2 genome is identical to the SARS-CoV genome, and the amino acid residue required for receptor binding are the same between these two viruses. Both viruses use the angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptor to infect airway epithelial cell and the endothelial cell. Transmission. The transmission is very important because the increase of the COVID-19 is related to the method of transmission person to person. Epidemiological investigation in Wuhan at the beginning of the outbreak identified an initial association with seafood market that sold live animal, where most patients had worked or visited, and which was subsequently closed for disinfection. However, as the outbreak progressed, person-to-person spread become the main mode of transmission. Then we agree that transmission is person-to-person. Direct person-to-person transmission is the primary mean of transmission of severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, mainly via respiratory droplet, virus released in the respiratory secretion when the person with infection, cough, sneeze, or talk can infect another person if it makes direct contact with the mucous membrane. Infection can also occur if a person touch an infected surface and then touch his or her eye, nose, or mouth. For that reason, we say always, please don't touch eye, nose, and mouth during your work. The direct person-to-person transmission is the primary means of SARS-CoV-2 transmission. It is thought to occur through close ring contact, mainly via respiratory droplet. Virus on heavily contaminated surface in an infected individual, household, or in the healthcare setting may be another source of infection if susceptible individual touch the surface and then transfer infectious virus to mucous membrane in the mouth, eyes, and or nose. Studies suggest that coronavirus may persist on surface for a few hours or up to several days. طبعا according to the humidity, temperature, and other factors. The extent to which airborne transmission contributed to spread of SARS-CoV-2 has been controversial. This is some studies about the indoor and outdoor transmission due to some factors. For example, in the open and the closed compound, maybe there is related to the movement of the wind might transfer this virus from building to building. SARS-CoV-2 has been detected in non-respiratory specimen, including stool, but semen and other liquids. But the role of these sites in the transmission is uncertain, in addition to other methods of transmission, for example, vertical transmission from mother to baby. Individuals with SARS-CoV-2 infection appear more likely to be infectious in the earlier stage of infection, including prior to the development of symptoms. Infection appears to induce protective antibodies. This is also for discussion. How is the immunity or the antibodies will persist for how long? However, it is yet unknown whether all infected patients mount a protective immune response and how long and protective effect will last. This is also in debate and not declared. To reduce the risk of transmission in the community, individuals should be advised to wash hands diligently, practice respiratory hygiene, cover their cough, and avoid crowds and close contact with ill individuals if possible. Social distancing is recommended, and this is difficult in some countries, in locations that have community transmission. In some locations, face covering are advised in public setting. The incubation period is different from COVID-19, MERS, SARS, and seasonal flu. The incubation time for COVID-19 between 2 and 10 days has been recorded by the WHO at the beginning. But when we compare the COVID-19 incubation period is 1 to 14 days, but maybe prolonged to for 24 days. MERS is 2 to 14 days, 5 days, and SARS 2 to 10 days, and the seasonal flu 1 to 4 days or 2 days. Epidemiologically, globally, more than 9.5 million confirmed cases of COVID of COVID cases have been reported. The epidemiological analysis is limited by several data restriction. Testing availability is the test PCR sometimes not available in some countries due to the economic situation, and criteria differ significantly among countries. All countries report confirmed cases underestimated the number of actual infected people, and mortality reporting is not standardized. The epidemiological report covers four areas: current epidemiological situation and global confirmed cases, population at risk, for example, old age, cardiovascular disease, diabetes mellitus, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer, case fatality rate, and data limitation. These disease is based in three phases. The first phase was the first cases were reported in December 2020, from December 18 through December 29. 5 patients were at the beginning hospitalized with acute respiratory distress syndrome, and one of these patients did, and this is the first shock. By January 2020, 41 admitted hospital patients had been identified as having laboratory confirmed COVID-19 infection. Less than half of these patients had underlying disease, including diabetes, hypertension. Now here is was clear that some situations maybe increase the mortality rate in COVID-19. Seasonal or second phase started on January 13, marked by rapid expansion and spread of virus within hospital, nosocomial infection, and by family transmission. Close contact transmission in this phase is epidemic spread from Wuhan to other areas. The third phase started on January 25, which is marked by the rapid increase in cluster. Here starts the cluster cases. On February 10, retrospective analysis showed that number of clusters cases accounted for 50 to 80% of all confirmed cases in Peking, Shanghai, Jiangsu, and Shandong. On January 30, the number of increased 240-fold, reaching about 9,800 confirmed cases, and the WHO declared this epidemic a public health emergency of international concern. And by February 11, about 44,730 confirmed cases, and about 16,067 suspected cases were reported in 1,386 counties and district and small districts in China. When we discuss here the local report, where the start in China in January 20, we here observe from December 29, start with 5 cases and increase gradually. In January 22, 571, 25, 1,900, January 30, 7,800, and in February 16, reached to 51,174. And the mortality increased from 1 case, 1 dead in 29 December, and increased in February 16 to 1,666. Here, when we discuss here the movement of the COVID-19 from China to the nearby areas. For the in January 30, 2020, 7,734 cases have been confirmed in China, and 90 other cases have also been reported from a number of countries that include Taiwan, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Japan, Singapore, Republic of Korea, United Arab Emirates, United States, Philippines, India, Australia, Canada, Finland, and Finland, France, okay, and Germany, okay. In comparison with the local report, the WHO already confirmed it's in February 16, increased to 51,000 in China, and with increase of the cases of death in 1,666. In February 16, in the same period, the World Health Organization globally, the number of confirmed cases also reached to 60,000 gradually, and tribal infection with increase about with 1,471 times the initial number in 25 countries. When we see here the total number of COVID-19 cases in January 25, 2000, the number is confirmed cases of COVID exceed 9.5 million in 25, and today is 9.8 million worldwide, with more than 485,000 COVID-19 related deaths. The epidemic has put public health system under severe strain, both in Western countries and in the developing world. SARS-CoV-2 display a more efficient transmission pattern when compared with SARS-CoV coronavirus and MERS coronavirus. If we see here, the total number is on 25 of this month is about 9,564,659, and the total death is already clear here. But if we compare these in the total, we say the total number is 9,564,000 and 659. But 50% of these total cases is in USA, Brazil, Russia, and India. And the total death in the 215 country is about 485,677. And about 50% of this mortality in the 4 countries, USA, Brazil, Russia, and India. If we compare between the USA, Brazil, Russia, and India, we observe here the recovery rate. The recovery rate is 61% in Russia, 57.5% in India, and 54.4 in Brazil, and the less recovery is 42.2 in USA. And the mortality rate 1.5 in Russia, and 2.8 to 3% in India, and 4.5% mortality rate in Brazil, and 5% mortality rate in USA. That means the situation in Russia is good, and the next one is India, and followed by Brazil and USA. In the USA, COVID-19 has been reported in all 50 states, also in Washington, D.C., and at least 4 territories. The accumulative incidence varies by state and likely depend on a number of factors, including population density, accumulation, demographic, the availability of the testing and reporting, timing of mitigation strategies. In the United States, outbreak in long-term care facilities and homeless shelters have emphasized the risk of exposure and infection in congregate setting. In India, India reports its virus coronavirus COVID death on 12 March. The virus has claimed the life of a 76-year-old man in Karnataka. India has recorded 474,587 confirmed cases, 14,915 deaths, and 272,636 cured cases, according to the latest update released by the World Meter Information on 25 June 2020. What is percentage of India death rate and recovery? India case fatality rate or the proportion of COVID positive people who have died is around 2.8% to 3%, and about 70% of these COVID diseases registered from Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Delhi, and the recovery is improved to reach near 60%. Pathogenesis. Fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, myalgia, fatigue, and tendency for leukopenia and radiological sign of progressive pneumonia, which may cause ARDS, are similar clinical and laboratory findings seen in COVID-19, SARS-CoV virus, and MERS coronary virus infection. A spike of glycoprotein, as we mentioned before, are the immunogenic part of the coronavirus, which may bind to angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptors to enter the host cell. It enters the cell, of course, through nose, it passes through nose, mouth, eyes, and anywhere to reach the cell. It enters the cell cytoplasm where it releases RNA. Genome and replicate, resulting in the formation of new viral particles. Then the cell disintegrate and the virus spread, is disintegrate, and the cell die, and more million of viruses start to spread to other cells. It's elevated level of ferritin or hyperferritinemia indicates the presence of viruses and bacteria into the body. Hyperferritinemia in the patient with viral infection characterized by macrophage activation. It starts the activation of macrophage monocytes. The monocyte and macrophage are increased, which might explain elevated level of pro-inflammatory cytokine, such as interleukin-1, 6, tumor necrosis factor, and interleukin-6, which in some patients turned out to be a cytokine storm. The ensuing cytokine storm triggered a violent The ensuing cytokine storm trigger a violent inflammatory response that contribute to ARDS, multiple organ failure, and finally death in severe cases of SARS-CoV-2 infection, similar to SARS-CoV coronavirus and MERS coronavirus infection. Patients with COVID-19, elevated D-dimer level are important and persistent elevation, confer to poor prognosis. Development of DIC is another problem characterized by prolongation of prothrombin time and activation partial thromboplastin time. High fibrin degradation product and severe thrombocytopenia, which may be life-threatening. Elevated D-dimer at the admission and markedly increasing D-dimer level 2 to 3-fold over time. These correlate with a parallel rise in markers of inflammation. Example, elevation of C-reactive protein are associated with high mortality, likely reflecting coagulation activation from infection, sepsis, cytokine storm, and impending organ failure. Thrombotic tendency in COVID-19 patient is probably caused by endothelial cell activation or damage. It is in general like any damage due to viral binding to ACE2 receptor. The presence of traditional risk factor for venous thromboembolism was found to be high among COVID-19 patients. Here in this figure, we just show the stages of disease: early infection, pulmonary phase, and hyperinflammation phase. We observe here in mild start increased fever. It is the immune response. With the immune response, start to increase the fever and symptoms: dry cough, diarrhea, headache, so on. When pulmonary phase in stage 2, shortness of breathing, hypoxia, saturation of oxygen decrease, and maybe CT scan show imaging and GGO and increase of transaminase with okay. And in severe ARDS, elevation of inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, LDH, interleukin 6, D-dimer, serum creatine, troponin, and others. Okay, here, this figure is the patient with COVID-19 showed higher leukocyte number, abnormal respiratory finding, and increased level of plasma pro-inflammatory cytokine. The direct cause here, there is here the we say the direct proportional between the severity of the disease and increase of cytokines. The direct cause of death from the acute COVID-19 involves cytokine storm, damage to lung and multiple organs of the body. Then we say the main cause of death is ARDS due to cytokine storm or other organ. Cause of death, we say is the ARDS is the main cause of death in COVID-19 disease and appear to cause similar immunopathogenic feature in SARS-CoV and MERS. But these figures show the difficulties faced some countries. The increase of mortality or increase the number of deaths related to the availability of the mechanical ventilation. Some countries have shortage in availability of mechanical ventilation, and due to the shortage of mechanical ventilation, lead to increased number of deaths. If we see here, if a patient need oxygen, if there is oxygen available, then okay, go to the next step. If no, then go to the death. If need massive mechanical ventilation, if yes, available, applied. If no, is go to death. If then he need AC MO, then change the blood CO2. If available, then go, then applied. If not available, go to death. Then is increase of mortality related to the availability of the intensive care unit in any country. Here is the one important thing about the background of macrophage activation syndrome, MAS, and cytokine storm during COVID infection. Among patients initially reported in Wuhan, the occurrence of MAS, macrophage activation syndrome, cytokine storm, ARDS, were heralded by very high level of serum pro-inflammatory cytokine and ferritin, and uncontrolled systemic inflammation response resulting from the release of pro-inflammatory cytokine and chemokine by immune effector cell. And one of the main features of ARDS, high blood level of cytokine and chemokine, have been detected in the patient with COVID-19 infection, including interleukins, beta, interleukin 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, basic, especially CXCL10, 8, and CCL2, and VEGFA. All this is related to this macrophage activation syndrome. Clinical and laboratory feature of MAS include sustained fever, elevated serum ferritin, triglyceride level, pancytopenia, fibrinolytic consumptive coagulopathy, liver dysfunction, splenomegaly. Beside low or absent natural killer cell activity, elevated serum level of CD20 and CD163, and the presence of hemophagocytosis, which is defined as the engulfment of blood cell, including erythrocyte, leukocyte, or platelets by phagocytic cell, support the diagnosis of MAS. Based on the current knowledge, the cytokine storm appear as one of the most dangerous and potentially life-threatening events related to COVID sustained its major clinical consequence. The immune-mediated event related to the response SARS-CoV coronavirus 2 infection and the role of chemokine receptor system will be a further and more extensively characterized with final goal to identify target therapeutic strategies. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Uh-huh. I know.
Audience are requested to ask question on YouTube chat. I will convey to Dr. Gamal sir. So one question is there on from participant that recently we have seen that Italy is saying that Corona COVID-19 is not a virus; it is bacteria. What is your opinion, Dr. Gamar sir?
Coronavirus is a it is named coronavirus. It is not bacteria. This is I explained. It is viral, and it is
Yeah, it
one
is.
of yes. It is already explained. This virus detected in three it is who said it is bacteria? It is we said it is already confirmed. It is a virus detected firstly in 2003 in China as severe acute respiratory syndrome and confirmed at SARS coronavirus. And then the next one, MERS, was already. And the last one is SARS-CoV-2 already is confirmed at a virus and confirmed logically with the characters.
Sir, one question is there. Sir, I request to unshare your screen, sir. First.
What?
Yes, sir. Stop your screen sharing.
It's already closed, yeah?
Stop your screen, sir.
Okay, well, this is. Is that?
Yeah, yes, okay. So there is one question from Dilip Kumar. How
Yes.
dexamethasone effective in severe COVID patient?
Okay, it is not okay. I will. By me is by chance. By chance, by chance, I started this dexamethasone as anti-inflammatory in patients with multiple myeloma and lymphoma. And really, I started in February to give patients 8 milligram dexamethasone before chemotherapy and 3 days after chemotherapy, and I observe there is improvement of the patient with cancer and COVID-19 to improve the symptoms of COVID-19 in cancer patient. For that reason, for me, I observe, the patients with multiple myeloma lymphoma, they have increase of interleukins, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and tumor factor. And when we give these dexamethasone, these reduce the level of cytokine and decrease the manifestations of cytokine storm.
So this is one question from Aman Kansara. Is coronavirus causes apoptosis or cell death?
Coronavirus, when enter the cell, they accumulate and distribute the cell. They kill the cell and enter the cell, other cell, and new cells. Okay.
So this is one question from SKD. What is the impact of long-term use of mask on human being?
What?
Impact of mask on human being. If you are going to use mask last for a long time, what will be the impact?
Mask, it is important for the patient to prevent coughing, sneezing, and distribute the to others. But I think during the crowding, we advise to to wear the mask. But if you wear the mask for a long time, that might affect the oxygenation of you. I think during the crowding, during the walking through the crowding, we advise to wear the mask. But in the house or in the car or anywhere, without when there is a distancing, no need to wear the mask.
This is one question. According to current treatment, what is lifespan of coronavirus?
Huh?
Lifespan of coronavirus. How much time it will live?
We will continue our life with coronavirus until discover a vaccination. We have to continue our life. We have to accommodate our life with coronavirus until availability of vaccination.
So this is one question.
You're welcome.
Which is a preferable target, ACE2, RDPP? Preferable target.
Huh?
A preferable target for coronavirus treatment, that is ACE2 or RDPP?
ACE2.
ACE2.
Yes.
There's one question from Dr. DK Hivrali, sir. Can we stop coronavirus replication by gene editing?
By what?
By gene editing. Can we stop coronavirus replication by gene editing?
This is the
Yeah.
yeah. This is question for Wuhan laboratory. Okay. I think it is difficult because there is debate about that. The replicate this virus. It is difficult to discuss. Some of the virologists said it is not natural virus. It is engineering virus, something, and it is difficult to discuss with this. But yes, if the laboratory who this virus is coming from a Wuhan laboratory or virology lab. They are the only lab who can change this virus genetic test. Maybe.
So this is one question about the mutation rate in coronavirus. If it has high rate, that's why there is a delay in vaccine formation.
You know, even the vaccine may give good result, but it is the problem. When is this vaccine need to improve every year, like seasonal flu? You know, the seasonal flu is changed every year, and the vaccine change every year. And if they if the vaccine is available, maybe in months in November or in next year, and this vaccine is for one time, or there is new mutations, and start new generation of COVID-19, and need also a new vaccine changed every year.
So this one question: what health diet to COVID patients?
Is not clear the sound.
What are the healthy diets to COVID patients? Yes, I'm audible.
Huh?
What are the healthy diets for COVID patient?
The sound not clear.
What are the healthy diets, sir? Diets. Healthy diets for COVID patient.
What health? Huh?
Healthy diets.
Healthy diet. You know, every country discover a healthy diet. We say healthy diet for COVID. What is with high level of vitamin C? Fruit. Okay. One. Sun. Vitamin D. Zinc. Also, this is the main sources might improve the immunity to decrease the manifestation or the symptoms of COVID-19. Source of vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc.
Hello.
Hello, I hear you.
Sir. What are the symptoms in children for COVID-19? Some guidelines shows skin patches is there in children. Is it true?
And children, we observe it here is diarrhea, vomiting, and loss of smell and taste. Okay, This is the most common observed in children here. Okay. Flu symptoms of fever, more fever, general weak body ache, and loss of smell and taste, and in addition to gastrointestinal manifestation, diarrhea, and vomiting.
So there is one question: up to how much extent plasma therapy is beneficial for COVID patient?
Oh, plasma. Yes, there is some discussion about. You mean plasma of patient? Yes, sometimes this is Russian method of used before many years to collect blood of some patients who was infected with virus, and separate the plasma and inject to patient. Yes, but is
Okay, sir.
maybe use it in some countries like in Turkey and in Russia.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you, Dr. Ghazi,
Thank you
for
very much
your.
for such a. Okay, it's today my words are not enough to express the gratitude on behalf of our management and Ali-allana College of Pharmacy. I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Dr. Gamal sir, who had who graced us with the knowledge-provoking addressing set a perfect platform of our college and professional during this pandemic situation. Now, I conclude that the first session is over, and I request to all the participants, the link is shared on YouTube chat. Please fill the attendance form for your attendance. As you know that for getting a certificate, 90% attendance is Ninety-six 90% attendance is necessary, and quiz will be shared in after second session, which is in which 60% passing marks is necessary for getting the certificates. So I conclude this session with the hope that you will join next session at sharp 3 p.m. for the lecture of eminent speaker, Dr. Dr. Qureshi sir from Saudi Arabia, and Dr. Ashok Panda sir, Ayush from Ayush department. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Gamal sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghazi, and see you in the next.
Yeah, yes, sir. I end the
Activity.
meeting. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.